What's up, everybody? Wolf from Walmart. We're back. We're back, baby, again.
Not a bad fish right there, guys.
No.
Out here catching Folsom bass right now, dude. Woo, he's a little chunker.
What up, everybody? Today we have no guest. So for all the people who are looking for guests or something, entertaining other than me, by all means, you can turn it off right now. Okay, now that those people are gone, I'm just kidding. Here's a couple new ads.
What's up, everybody? This ad read is long overdue. This is another one, but this is for Kayak City, dude. Thank you guys for supporting me so long. Eric and Scott are still over there with Adam and Byron pushing out kayaks left and right. I'm talking, we got all the big adventure, Bonafide, Native, New Canoe. They got Old Town. Ooh, they got the new Old Towns. Oh my gosh, go by and check out that PDL 120 Pro or that EPDL. Super solid. Now, if you're not getting stuck in kayak fishing like I am, like I love fishing out of my kayak. If you just want to wreck kayak, you want to go out there, they got tons of wilderness systems, eddy lines, you name it, they got it. It's over at 7812 Auburn Boulevard, right there in Citrus Heights, California. If you guys are from Southern California, call ahead. They can put something aside for you. And don't forget, if you stop by and you heard this, tell them I sent you. Those are my boys. That's the fam. We be doing it big here in Cali. Enjoy. Y'all know what it is. It is 4 letters, LMNT, Element, dude. I love it. It is the tasty electrolyte beverage that I go for. No sugar, no BS. It is sodium, potassium, magnesium. That's 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. You pour that in 16 to 32 ounces of water. 16 if you like it salty, 32 if you don't. Snaps you right back into place on the water. It doesn't matter whether I'm fishing, skateboarding, or working outside. If I am sweating and I am just depleting myself of energy, I'm drinking one of these. Snaps me right back into place. If you guys are interested, the code is in the bio on the Instagram, Whole Angler Podcast, right down there in the description. Go ahead and hit the link, grab yourself some, save your own life, because right now it is hot here in this garage.
Yeah. So those are some new ads. I need feedback on those guys. So if you guys are still listening and you like my silly ads, by all means hit me up and let me know. Or if you don't like my ads, please hit me up and let me know. I would prefer if you don't like my ads to please hit me up and let me know, because the advertising is not my strong point. I'm not a salesman. Speaking of salesmen, let's talk. Let's tell some stories. Just a couple stories real quick. First off, I can't tell you stuff I don't know. So when it comes to people asking me questions about, FluxJet kayaks or anything like that, yes, I work with FluxJet. I know a lot about FluxJet. I love FluxJet kayaks. Don't get me wrong. Like it is super fun. Jason and James over there, they're the best. Graham, he comes all the way from Australia. He's awesome. We got a bunch of guys in the warehouse now. Like everything's starting to move fast. So that's really cool. But if you're asking me to sell you one, or you want me to give you all the tech knowledge, that's not a Dave question. That's not me. I am not good at that. I cannot sell you anything. I can tell you my personal experience and how I feel about it. Not only the kayak on the water, how it fishes and how it moves, but also FluxJet as a brand, like the kayaks themselves, and the people that work there. I can give you stories upon stories upon stories. Because it's all personal experience. But I'm not a salesman. So when it comes to like advertising, like brands, like people that are sponsoring the show, like I'm not a salesman. Like I can't sell you this stuff, but I can tell you that when I go to Kayak City, they treat me well. They have everything that you'll need. That is the honest truth, because every time I go there, I haven't gone there and been like, oh, you don't have this? Actually, no, that's a lie. A couple times I have, but it didn't matter because it wasn't for my kayak anyways. That's just me being selfish. But the Element personal experience, like from the gate when I was skateboarding, I learned about it through skateboarding. And if anybody's ever been so passionate about something that it turns into an obsession, which is basically my MO. Like I have that addictive quality in me. So if I find something that makes me feel good or something that I'm very passionate about, I obsess. It becomes a full blown obsession, like full on, like I am knee deep. It is bad. So you give me a skateboard and free time. I mean, you could tell me go skate for 2 hours. I'll be back in 6. I mean, I'm 44 years old and I don't care. I will be back in 6 hours. I won't walk for the next week, but it will take 6 to like 8 hours to really get that out to where I just can't anymore. So when I was out there, and I live in Sacramento area, so it gets in the hundreds, and I'm out there skating, like skating and skating. I mean, like my clothes are soaking wet and I'm skating until my clothes are dry. Like I am completely dehydrated, like depleted of all minerals, all natural like needs, vitamins, everything. Like there's nothing left. Steam is like shooting out of my pores at that point, and I am still skating. Like I've skated so hard, like I've got to the point of dehydration where like my ears pop and I'm like super tired, like not tired, like, oh man, I'm beat. Like I'll take a nap right here in the sun. Like I do not care, like that tired. And I just keep going because I can't stop. So when I found Element and I started taking Element when I was out there, it gave me that boost. It gave me that like that. It replenished my body. It almost felt like I went inside the air conditioning for 2 hours. I drank a bunch of water. I got back outside in the sun, and I felt great. That's not a sales pitch. That's my honest truth. So if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, cool. Like, and when it comes to ads, I have a bunch more ads coming. In fact, like this is part of the changes in the show is like I have new sponsorships coming aboard. I will not be selling you guys stuff. Like I'm not a salesman. Yes, there will be a code. Please use my code. Like, please. I'm doing that thing that what do the marketing guys say? Ask for the sale. Please use my codes, guys. They're coming. I'm going to have codes for a bunch of stuff up here pretty soon. And when I say a bunch of stuff, like 2 or 3 more things, like I'm not like Rogan where it's going to be 10 minutes of ads, but like, anything that I put on this show, it's because I believe in, like, I back the company, I back the people, I back the product because it has worked for me 100%. Like, it will not be, you should try this because it tastes great, or this, that, or the other, or you should use this thing because it catches all the fish. Like, no, I will give you my personal experience, which I am not a professional angler. If you ever see me in a tournament, I am there to have a good day. I am there to try and catch some fish, but more likely I am there to just hang out with some bros and just go fishing with the homies because a father of 3, I own a business. Just going fishing isn't always an option because I just don't have the time all the time. Like, that's my truth. I don't go fishing every day. I wish I could. I met some guys at ICAST, a story. They're called the After Work Fishing Club. They're great. I met them at the AFCO party. Those dudes are amazing. Like, I love all those guys. They're so fun. And their booth ended up being like right behind me. They were doing like trailer stuff. It was pretty tight. So we were just sitting there chatting because we were all wearing cool shirts and like having a good time. And they gave me a sticker called the After Work Fishing Club. And they actually have an Instagram. Go follow them. They're rad dudes. It's just about a bunch of guys that your time is after work. Like, that's your only time to go fishing is you go fishing, or you go to work, you go fishing, you go home. Like, respect. Like, that is the most real company I've ever heard of. I'm like, you guys are the best. Like, because I can't charter a boat or I don't even own a boat. But if I owned a boat, I couldn't just leave and go every day, like just bail on my kids and my family, or just bail on my job, which is technically bailing on my kids and my family because I am the sole provider. I can't do that. Like, I just can't. I probably could, but in my brain, in my heart, I just can't do that. So the after work fishing guys, I'm like, that is my speed, man. If I could just get a couple hours right after work, get a line wet at a local pond, I mean, I'm talking bank beat, anything like that is more my speed. And so I think those guys are great. So yeah, just shoot them a follow. Not a sales pitch or anything. It was just a story. They're great. We had a good time. We went from the AFCO party to another party to another party. It was really cool. Let's talk about this a little bit. I'm gonna off of sales and kind of about sales. I got to go to ICAST, guys. I got to go to ICAST. Sorry, it's been like 2 weeks, but this is the first day that I woke up and I could hear my own voice. Not that I like my own voice, but I actually got my voice back. ICAST, I didn't get sick. I caught no bug. Some people caught the the Florida flu or whatever. I did not. I don't know if I just have a system that, illness can't really survive in. I did like smoke cigarettes for 25 years and put my body through a lot of crap with drugs and alcohol. So I feel like inside my system, like sickness and disease doesn't last very long if it gets in there at all. I just don't think it has anything left to survive on, really. But point being is, so I talked like I'm doing now at ICAST for the entire time, because we all know I'm not afraid to open my mouth. I am not a shy person. I get social anxiety, but my social anxiety is either there's too many people here, which ICAST was definitely it, or I'm in an uncomfortable situation with a group of people that I don't really know, and they're talking to me directly. A lot of people shut down. A lot of people get silent. I don't blame them in the least. Everybody has their own way of dealing with social stress. I do the opposite. I start machine gun mouthing. I just go. Like the mouth opens up and whatever is on my brain comes out, which can put me in some which did put me in some weird situations sometimes, because there's no filter, there's no break, there's no thought before the word. It just, whatever's on the mind just comes straight out the mouth. And the problem is my mind runs faster than my mouth. So I gave a lot of people half sentences and partial thoughts and just kind of because I was, it was a lot of people. I was very excited. And yeah, it was a lot. So when people are asking me about flux jets or whatever, because I was there with FluxJet flew me out there. That is a blessing. I'm telling you guys, like I made a story, or I made a post on Instagram. I was talking to my buddies like way back in the day, like 20, I started fishing 2020. So 2021, I'm like talking to a couple buddies at a job site, like my buddy Andy Dwyer. He no longer has a social media, but shout out Andy Dwyer, everybody. Like, I would say go give him a follow, but you can't. But if you ever meet him in person, you'll understand, like, me and him get along like peas and carrots. But me and him were talking at a job site, and I was getting really into fishing, and I just heard about ICAST. It was like a new thing, and it was like, no public are allowed, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I don't know how it's going to happen, but someday I'm going to go to that. Like, I gotta go. Like, I just gotta see it just once. I don't need to go every year. I don't need to be anybody spectacular or famous or special. I want to go see it. I want to go see this thing, this limited, like, not really elitist, but like industry only thing. Like, I want to know why we're not allowed. I want to see the people there. I want to see how everyone interacts. Like, that was more my curiosity, is really how like the pros interact with each other, how the media interacts with the brands, how the brands interact with the pros. Like, I want to see if it's a different relationship inside this private type event versus what it would be like at, say, the Bassmaster Classic or any other event where there's like a tournament where pros and sponsors are all there. Like, they're probably all, buddy. But I want to know what behind closed doors, quote unquote, is what I thought the ICAST was behind closed doors. Like, how do they really interact? Like, how are these people really in real life outside like the fan base walking around? Like, I want to know, that was my curiosity. I wanted to see what the industry was brewing up. Like, I didn't know if they would have like little laboratories with like the little smoking beakers and all that kind of stuff where they'd be pouring plastics. I didn't know. And I wanted to find out. And sure, I've seen plenty of influencers, and I've heard plenty of podcasts about it. So like, I figured that there was no smoking beakers and stuff, but it was just more of like the social interaction, like curiosity for me. So I was blessed enough to be working with FluxJet. After ICAST last year, they contacted me. I don't know, maybe a month or so, 2 months after ICAST, they contacted me. We started working together. I've been doing some fun stuff with them. Those guys are amazing. Like, Jason, James, like, I love you guys. Like, those are my brothers from other mothers. Like, we broed down super tough. And anyways, so we've been doing videos and stuff like that for a while. And Jason was like, hey, we're going to go to ICAST and we want to take you. And I was like, okay. Like, no way. Like, there's no way, because this was planned in quite a bit in advance. And I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. I mean, I appreciate it. Yes, I will go. I would love to go with you guys. Don't get me wrong. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, something's going to happen. You know, something's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to make it. Something's going to happen. I'm not going to be able to make it. Or they're not really going to want to take me come ICAST time because, you know, I'm not here all the time, because I'm not. My company took off. I'm working a lot. I can't go to FlexJet and hang out and like make videos and do stuff like I used to be able to. So you know, I feel like I let them down a little bit, and I was just waiting for the call of, hey, we're not gonna be able to take you. Call never came. They're like, you ready to go? And I was like, I've been ready to go for years. But yeah, so we went to ICAST, dude, and they took me, and it was, how do I say it? Incredible and overwhelming at the same time, because it's like I said, it's one of those like dream come true situations. Like, I put it out there, and it came back, and it worked out, and I got to go. And walking through ICAST, like the whole building setup stuff was really cool, all that kind of stuff. But really what hit me was walking into that venue, even before the building stuff, even before everything was put up, was like the size, the amount of people, the amount of effort and work that goes into each and every booth, like the amount of work we had to put in, like it was insane. It was incredible. Like, and I've gone to expos and things like that, and I'd love to be like, yeah, it's like an expo. It's like an expo. It's not. It's not like an expo at all. At all. Unless the expo, unless you went to like a smallest town expo where everyone knew each other, and everyone was just like, yo, like, what's up, dude, and chatting with each other and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I'm nobody. Like, I'm nobody. I'm not an influencer. I am not somebody super famous or special. I literally, I'm just there to help my buddies. Like, that was my job. And I had an experience like I've never really, it was just, like I said, it's semi indescribable, to be honest. The emotions that go through all that, like the mental processing of everything, like my brain was going so fast that I tried to like write down at night, like collect my thoughts about each day. Um, and I would write half words and half sentences because it was just so much input so fast. I would love to tell you, oh, all these baits are going to be cool and all this stuff. You know, I checked out some baits. There was some cool stuff. I checked out some equipment. There was some really cool stuff, kayaks, all that stuff. Everybody's coming out with some really cool stuff. That whole portion of ICAST was missed on me. I was walking around seeing people that I've seen in magazines and on the internet for years. And they're right there in front of my face. And they're like, hey, and they stick their hand out like, hi, like they're interested to say hello to you. Like genuinely. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like my brain was just coming out my ears, just melting, you know? And so it was really like, it was incredible. That was the incredible part, was like how human everyone is there. Like, I hate to say that you put people up on a pedestal, but over the years of watching fishing, you see these guys, whether they're tournament anglers or internet sensations or media people, whatever, you start to like kind of put them up on a little bit of a pedestal because they're in this group that you don't ever get to like touch, you know? You can see from afar, but you don't ever get to step into that circle. And being at ICAST, I felt like I kind of got a slice like of stepping into that circle. Like, not, I definitely did not feel a part of, just because, like I said, I'm some 44-year-old guy in his garage right now. I woke up and I jumped out here on the computer. I'm not even wearing a hat. That's a change. I'm not even wearing a hat today. You know why? Because I woke up and realized that I needed to put these thoughts out somewhere. So I came into my garage and here I am, and y'all get my ugly mug straight out of bed. This is my night shirt. It's a G-Rat shirt. Thanks, boys. They gave me this shirt at the ISE Expo. It was really cool. Anyways, so I'm like, I didn't necessarily feel a part of, but I felt like I was inside this limited access group, right? moving forward, so the on the water day happens. Man, so I'm working with FluxJet. So we're at the dock. We got these FluxJets out, and FluxJet won 2025. So 20, but they didn't have any, they didn't get a kayak there in time to let people try it out. So the first like industry introduction to an operating model was Wednesday on the water day. And first off, we have a new color, which is cool. It's a limited color. It is pretty tight. It's like this green. I don't know, man. Whatever. Anyway, so I thought that was really cool. I thought, wait, we got a green one now. That's cool. But so we get them on the water, and oh, let me backtrack before on the water day. So FluxJet, the cool thing about it's a jet drive kayak. So there's no motor that hangs below. So we decided it would be really fun to go put an obstacle course out in the water where there's a net. There's a, oh, hang on one second, guys. This. And we're back. Sorry. My daughter woke up and she needed breakfast and Bluey. So she got breakfast and Bluey on the water day, or before the on the water day. That's where I was at. So we're out there. We were like, it would be really fun to do an obstacle course because, you know, we can do that with these things. We can do all sorts of stuff. Now, mind you, the pond, the on the water pond already has like weeds around the edge where it's basically touching the surface, which would bind a lot of motors up or would slow them down. You know, I mean, it'll chop through them. Like, dude, Austin Hoover was out there with his power pole and he was just eating those weeds up, but he was eating the weeds up, you know. The FluxJet just cruised right over them. So, but we thought it'd be really fun to have some other stuff out there, like, you know, normal debris that you would find in bodies of water, nets, a log, things like that. So Monday we go out there to start setting these obstacle courses up, and Florida gets hit with, I don't know if it's just regular Florida weather or if it was like a freak hurricane, but we're on the water in kayaks and the rain starts coming. It was perfect at first, and a little breeze, and then the rain starts coming, and then, I mean, rain is coming sideways. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever rode a motorcycle, but it's like riding a motorcycle in the rain. Like, that rain stung. It was coming so fast. It was wild. And then like, as we're getting off the water, there's like foot high rollers with white caps in a little pond. Like, it was nuts. I was like, no way, dude. They had a bunch of like venue tents out there ready to go for each vendor, and the venue tents were blowing away. Some trailer blew into a car in the parking lot. It was nuts, right? It was just crazy. I have a video of like water flying up and out of the manholes. Like, it was just it was blowing the manhole lids off the side. Like, they were opening up it was opening up the sewers, like how high winds and water. It was bananas. So I was like, this is crazy. And I met a Florida local, Nico. He's cool. He was saying, oh yeah, this is Florida. Like, you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. And he wasn't lying. Like, 20 minutes later, everything was cool again. I was like, dude, this is wild. But anyways, so on the water day, I get out there, and, you know, I actually got to see some familiar faces, Coley and Darren and them. Like, it was really cool to see the homies. Like, John Dalton was out there. Jeff Little was out there with his new e-propulsion motors. Those are super cool. But it was really cool just to be a part of that event. And like, I got to meet some really cool people. I'm out there. I got to see Jose and Wade and the boys from Aggressively Average Anglers, Paul and Jeff. Like, it was cool to like chat with everybody and like, hey dude, like, we've been talking about this a long time. Why don't you jump in one? And the resounding response, like, people are really liking that kayak. And it was really fun to be able to like be a part of their introduction to that, even though I had literally nothing to do with it. I just was there. I basically became a glorified line monitor. So because there was a big line to get on them, we had 3 available, and they ran the entire on the water day, before the on the water day and after on the water day was over. People were still running them. Like, it was really cool to see. I hope everybody got the content that they needed. I know that there will be some content coming out a lot, hopefully. I filmed a lot, they filmed a lot, everybody filmed a lot. You know, it was really cool, and I got to meet a lot of people that I've never got to meet. You know, I got to meet that day, which I talked to him later a little more, which was really interesting to me. I got to meet Hans Newts. If anybody doesn't know who Hans Newts is, he's like one of the engineer designers at Bonafide, and he engineered and designed a couple of my favorite models that they have. So I got to like kind of give him his flowers and be like, dude, thank you. Like these, it is so great to have this model, like the way these are built. I feel like they're built for me, et cetera, et cetera. Like it was really cool to talk to him and like kind of pick his brain and, just chat, just meet him. It was really cool. The whole experience at ICAST for me was very humbling. Not that I feel like I'm somebody important, because I'm, like I said, I'm nobody important, but like to meet these people who are important and they just treated me like a normal human, not like some sort of, and I was super fanning for sure. I was like, hey, I'm a super fan on you real quick. I apologize. Like, just because I'm going to tell you how it is, and how it is I'm a super fan. But they were really just gracious and kind. Like it was really cool. On the water day happened. That was really cool. That was a great event. And then we went back, to the hotel, everybody, because we stayed at a hotel like right across the street. It was pretty cool. We weren't too far from anything. Like we were basically around everybody and everything. So that was really nice. The next day was the day. It was the first day of the expo, which I think is a Wednesday, right? It's a Wednesday. Yeah. So we get back, or we get there, and that was like, I went down the escalator, like you see all the videos, you see everybody doing, and I went through the door, and everything was built. People were there. Activity was happening. It was cracking. And I was like, dude, that was that moment. That moment right there was that moment. That moment that I had seen so many times before. That moment that I had heard about so many times before. That moment was like real. Like that it was real. Like pinch me. Like this is crazy. And so I got to go. We went straight to the FluxJet booth because I'm there to help FluxJet as much as possible. And went straight to the FluxJet booth, got everything ready, and people started coming through the doors. And we were directly across from the new product showcase, like directly across from the new product showcase. So I stared at that thing every day. I went in there a couple times. There's some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. There's some really cool stuff in there. But it was like, so that's how they do that. Like they debut. And I'm going to tell you, like, this is all, I'm giving you my experience and I'm telling you guys these stories because this was my first time. This is a first timers. Like a lot of people that I met, I've been here before. I've done this, I've done that, I've done this and that. Like a lot of the average number of people that were at ICAST that I met, their average year span at ICAST was 10 years. Like, oh yeah, I've been doing this 10 years, been doing this 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 10 years, like 10 years was about the average number. And so they have a different point of view, different perspective, but I have it from a first timer fan, general public perspective, because that's who I was to the end. Like I was a fan, I was a first timer, and I was basically general public, but I was working with FluxJet. Like I kept my mindset, or I tried to keep my mindset as much as I could as I'm a general guy. Like I'm I'm everyday dude. I am not anybody important. Like I said, I know I'm nobody important, but I mean, I was a vendor. I was working with the vendors, but I got to keep my mentality of this is a first timer at ICAST perspective. And that was really, really cool. So we're going to flex most of the day. And I started getting, get out of here. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go walk around. I'm going to wander. Oh, that's what I would say every day. I'm going to wander because that's what I did. I would just wander around, and I got to meet so many cool people. First off, being by the new product showcase, a lot of people end up just walking right by you anyways. And I'm not going to name all the people that I got to meet because, I mean, if I name as many as I can remember, I'm going to leave just as many out because, I mean, I met a lot of people. And we all know I'm not afraid to walk up and stick my hand out and say, hi, nice to meet you. Because, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to get away from me, loser. And then I'm, I haven't lost anything. I was a loser before I met you. And, you think I'm a loser now. Cool. Whatever. I don't care. So there's nothing to lose for me, basically. So I'm walking up saying hi to people and just talking, interested in these people, like asking them about their lives. And I'm wandering around. And I had talked to Ken Duke a few times beforehand. And I missed him on Wednesday because, we just couldn't link up. So I'm wandering around, but I'm, saw Danny and Brizalo and Danny from Brizalo and Tyler Ward, which backstory, my first expo was the Columbus Expo out in Columbus, Ohio, and that's where I met Danny from Brazalo, and he was one of the greatest dudes. Like we hit it off. Like he's just he's the homie, and so it was really cool to like see him there, and I was like, dude, no way! Like it was just like we were like both like what? Like we were just dude, it was so rad. We were just chatting it up and stuff like that. By the way, I owe Danny a huge apology because in my Dark Horse tackle box months ago, I got a weed whacker, which is like this smaller style buzzbait, clacking buzzbait that he has. And I'm not a huge fan of clacking buzzbaits. I'm just not, like, especially in my area, like heavy pressure, clacking buzzbaits, they can catch certain times of the day, certain times of the year. And the other day I went out and I threw that clacking buzzbait, and I'm like, it's either going to catch or it's not. I'm just gluing this thing in my hand and we're going to go. And I was catching fish 3 out of 4 casts on that thing for probably a solid 2 hours. Like it was, and it wasn't just like we were in an area with fish. Like we would move. I was constantly moving, and it was just like bam, bam, bam. Like it was, that thing catches fish. So I had to call him the other day and be like, hey, dude, I'm an ass. I'm sorry. I've had this thing forever and I just didn't think it would work. No offense. It really outperforms. So when you hear about this later on and you like fishing like the Delta or, you know, tidal water, moving water, or anything like that, and you're looking for a good clacking buzzbait, the weed whacker, it did it for me. And my buddy, like he was like, give me one of those. And I gave him one, and we proceeded to put a beat down. It was really fun. So anyways, side note, not a sales pitch, just an experience. So I got to see Danny. We were chatting it up. It was cool. And I got to finally meet Tyler. Like me and Tyler, how I know some of these people is I would make memes for them, for the Bass and Brews guys. Like I would make memes about them for their episode on Bass and Brews, because I just think that show is so funny. Like I love Paul and Alex so much. And so they would, you know, there's always jokes and stuff like that. So I would make pictures with people, you know, the guest and Paul and Alex, and just, you know, make the pictures and then put them on the internet for people to laugh at later. You know, like it was just, if you watch the show, you got the joke. It was funny. So, and I did that to Tyler because, you know, Tyler still catches crap from them to this day about Brooks and Dunn being his hype music. But getting to know Tyler, I totally get it. And yep, I'm not sorry I made memes about you, bud, but I'm really glad I met you in person. Anywho, so I was just wandering and chatting and meeting more people, just going to different booths and checking out what they had to offer. I went over to Cast King, talked to Jose and Ryan and Eric, and that was really cool to see those guys. I got to see Rex again. Rex is the sweetest dude you'll ever meet. Like, but all those boys, they're homies. And then I saw Wade from Yak Attack, which, you know, the day I saw Wade, I gave him a leg hug, and that sounds super uber gay, but I don't care. It was me and Wade. It's been years in the making that me and Wade have actually got to connect and meet each other in person. So it was really cool to like meet him and hang out with him. And he handed me a bunch of these, the popper fireworks that you throw on the ground and they pop. So then my buddy James said, hey, you should go get a big straw and shoot them like, you know, spit wads. And I was like, say less. So yeah, so I was, you know, sniping everybody that I knew with popper fireworks from a straw from like 10 feet away. It was really fun. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe there, is like we're out there, everybody's working, but it's not work. You work hard, but you enjoy every minute of it because it's all the people that you've known forever, or you've gotten to know. And for me, it was not only the people that I've known for a while or gotten to know for a while, but like I actually get to meet them in person and shake their hand, which is really important for me. I'm a huge like face-to-face guy. So that was really cool to have that experience and shoot fireworks at them. Anyways, so Thursday rolls around, you know, the next day we go home. Thursday rolls around, or well, Wednesday night, I ran into, almost forgot, this is super important. The Fish or Die booth was right next to our booth, like a couple booths away. Like I could shoot fireworks at them all day if I wanted to. Anyways, and so I got to meet Taylor from Fish or Die, which was really cool to meet him and shake his hand in person. I also got to meet Kyle and Dylan, who's part of the Fish or Die team. Those dudes, They're young, so I just busted their balls like the whole time, like a grumpy old man that I am sometimes. But I got to see Joe Brown, my homie, like my buddy. If you guys know anything about Joe Brown, you've heard him on the show. He's a co-host of Jigs and Pigs podcast. Like we got to hang out, dude. And Joe and me had said ahead of time, like, we need to make a day where we go hang out together after the show. And so that's what we did Wednesday. We went, I ate food with the boys, and then I met up with Joe and Taylor and Kyle and Dylan and Meg. Meg's Joe's wife. That's the homie Megan. Her nickname Shoulders. If you know, you know. Anyways, and so we all went out and we went to like a one restaurant bar and like hung out, and then that's where I met the after work fishing guys. And then we left there. We went to another place. We were hanging out. And then I called the homie Coley. Coley was over at this place. So we went over to this place. And it's called Howl at the Moon. This is wild. But it's definitely that kind of place. And so we were all hanging out over there. And, you know, Joe got to talk to Seth Fighter. I got to see the guys from Uncle Larry's Outdoors. And we chatted for a little bit. I saw Ryan Rigg. Like, I was like, what's up, dude? He's like, ah. It was cool. And then we were all just hanging out, broing down, talking smack, giving, you know, Wild Bill, you know, a bunch of crap because he didn't show up. Because, you know, why not? I love Bill. He's great. But anyways, so we were hanging out, having a good time, like just enjoying like being together. I got to meet a couple other guys, a man named Rustin. He's a fly fisher guy. He's a fly fisherman from Idaho, but he's a rad guy. Like, we were sitting there chatting for probably a good hour at that place. And anyways, so, and I just met him randomly. Like, he was just like a guy there, and we just hit it off and started chatting and talking. And but so Thursday comes around, and you know, I'm wandering through the expo again. I you know, I was over at Flux Jet. We were talking kayak stuff with everybody, and then, you know, like Thursday, it's a little bit like the influencers are out there trying to get their videos. So I don't want to be in anybody's way, you know, like I'll step out, you know, I'll let y'all do your videos. So I'll wander about, because all the questions they're going to have are tech questions. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not a salesman and I'm not a tech guy. So all that stuff would go to Graham or Jason. I can give you my experience on this stuff, and that would be about it. I can tell you how it works, and enough to, you know, for the layman, like the normal you and me guy. And that's about as far as my information goes. So, you know, they're going to ask more technical questions. They're going to ask more introspective questions and pricing and stuff like that. That's not my place. So that's above my payroll is what I like to say. But so I went ahead and I, you know, wandered by the missile booth, and there, sitting there in the missile booth, was Mr. Ken Duke. And I was like, oh my gosh, because me and Ken said we're gonna meet up, because we missed each other on Wednesday, so we're gonna meet up on Thursday. And I found him, and he did not disappoint. That man is a living legend. It was so nice to meet him. He introduced me to like Mike Davis, Lee Sisson, just a handful of people just right out the gate. Because those are the people he was just sitting there talking to, and I was like, it's wild to walk into a room like that. Like, it's like you are looking for, you know, Jordan, and you show up and Jordan's sitting there talking to Kobe and Clyde Drexler and Hakeem Olajuwon. You're like, what? Like, just wild. Anyway, so we're sitting there chatting, and I just happened to I'm like, I need to take and Josh Sackmar. I met Josh Sackmar. He will be coming on the show. Like, he is a very interesting human and a very personable guy. Like, he's a really rad dude. So, anyways, so, I had to step back and like take a photo of the group, because like this was one of those moments, like it needs to be captured in time. It just needs to be captured in time. So I took a photo of the group, and then Ken did something that I not only never expected or asked for, but like was more than honored to be a part of. He's all right, Mr. Erkey, this is your first ICAST. Let me walk you through here, and I'd love to introduce you to some people. And I was like, huh? Like, I thought we were just going to have a little chat, you know, handshake, hug, photo. I figured he had to be on his way because he probably had a lot of stuff to do. No, this man I just played little tag along. Like, I played like dang near puppy dog, and he just walked me through ICAST, and him and Lee had to go talk to the guys at Gamakatsu and this, that, and the other. And he was just like, oh, this is blah, blah, blah. And this is blah, blah, guys. And he was so like generous and gracious. Like, you don't have to shout me out for nothing, Mr. Ken Duke, but I absolutely appreciated it. Like, he's like, this is Dave Erke from the Whole Angler Podcast, blah, blah. And he was like encouraging people to come on my show. I was just like, oh, you have your own show, sir. Like, wouldn't you want them to come on your show? But he was encouraging them to come on mine. I was absolutely honored to hear that. Dude, it was just, if you go to ICAST ever, I mean, I don't care if it's your first one or your 100th one, find Ken Duke and take a walk with him. It is the coolest experience you will ever have. It is so interesting. First off, the man is just, there's so much information and so many stories, and he's so well spoken. Like, when you talk to him, you feel like he makes you feel like you're the only one in the room, which I genuinely appreciate. But then he introduces you to someone else and someone else and someone else. And the way he speaks about people is so in high regard, but honest, like, I love it. Like, I asked him about a specific angler, like, oh, and he's always, who would you love to meet? I'm all, oh, I'd like to talk to this guy. And he's all, he's a dick. And I was like, that's awesome. Like, thank you for telling me the truth. Like, don't butter me up. Like, that was cool. Which I appreciate. We're not going to name who it is, but it just is what it is. If somebody's a jerk, they're a jerk. And that's, some days I'm a jerk, and I know a lot of assholes. So that's okay. If somebody asks me, hey, who's that guy? I'd be like, he's an asshole. So I respected what Ken had to say. So we moved around, and like I said, if it's your first or your 100th, just walk with Ken Duke. That man, he is the most gracious ICAST host I have ever met. And he doesn't like run or host ICAST. I feel like he just, like, this is his forte. Like, he knows how to introduce one person to another, how to make connections, and it was fluid for him, and it was just an incredible experience. And so after about a couple hours, I gracefully appreciated everything. I had to get back to the FluxJet booth. I had to go eat some food. I had to do a few things, and I said, we'll connect later. Like, for sure, I would love to connect with you later. So Ken hit me up later. He's like, hey, I'm thinking about going and eating some food. Would you like to go have some sushi? And I was like, don't threaten me with a good time, dude. So we went ahead and left, and he took me in his car. I walked with him. He took me in his car to sushi. And it wasn't just his, I mean, this is his hometown. Like, this is his hood. And he introduced me to a sushi spot that Shaw Grigsby introduced him to. And Shaw's a very sushi snob. I come from California, where we have reasonably good sushi. So I'm somewhat of a sushi snob. Like, I like good sushi. I can eat sushi, but I like good sushi. And Ken did not disappoint. He said, all you can eat sushi. I said, first off, it doesn't have to be good. If it's all you can eat, I'm in. That, because I'm round in the middle, and I love that. But when we got there and we started ordering, the quality of sushi that we were getting, like the quality of the meat, the quality of the rolls, like, it was the freshness, like, you could just taste it. It was delicious. Ken's favorite thing is crab rangoon. So we got a lot of crab rangoon. It was, and it was really good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was very good crab rangoon. But we sat there and ate, and he had created this thing where he invited about 4 to 6 people to show up to dinner. And so it ended up being Ken, myself, followed by Josh Sackmar, followed by Byron Velvick, and lo and behold, Rustin, which was crazy to me because I didn't know, industry is small. I hear people say it all the time. I got to witness it from a first timer's perspective, from a fan's perspective. How small it actually is. It is very, very small. Everyone knows everyone's everything. So anyways, so they walked through the door. Byron Velvick walks through the door, and then followed by Rustin. And I was like, no way. Like, first off, my first experience, I got to meet Byron Velvick. We've been trying to get him on the show. Should be next week. Everybody cross your fingers. But I got to meet Byron for the first time. I actually met him at the expo. We got to sit and talk. It was really cool. He's a just a gentleman and a great guy. But Rustin comes walking through the door right behind him. I'm like, no way. So we're like, big hug, like, what's up, dude? Blah, blah, blah. Because we just met each other the night before randomly at a bar, like, and so we were like we were all sitting at the sushi place, and Rustin was he's hilarious, man. So, and everybody was giving him a hard time because he's a fly guy, and he's all, fly fishing, but I prefer to call myself a pretentious caster, which I thought was hilarious. But for most of the dinner, my loudmouth, chatty Cathy ass said nothing. Like, it was one of those situations where I knew, or I felt, I needed to close my mouth, and I just needed to just soak in this experience, like just take this moment in. I did not get a photo of all of us at dinner. I didn't do the videos. I didn't do the, hey, what's up, everybody? Blah, my hair, I'm blah, 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 blah. No, it was a gentleman's dinner, and it was a moment that will be forever burned into my memory. Like, it was absolutely incredible experience to be a part of that. I am so grateful. Thank you, Mr. Ken Duke. Thank you, Byron. Thank you, Rustin. Thank you, Mr. Josh Sackmar. Everybody. Thanks for everybody just showing up and just allowing me to be in that moment. That was so cool. At the end of dinner, we're getting ready to order dessert, but Ken's like, let's order one more round. Let's order one more round of rolls and stuff. And of course, Ken gets his crab rangoon. Well, it's all you can eat. So you put a check mark by each roll that you want on this little piece of paper, and then you give it to the server, and they bring you back the sushi in a little bit. I had almost nothing to offer the conversation. I was just soaking in the moment, but also we all know that I like to joke around a bit. And so when the sheet came to me, I was the last person to put an order in. I scratched off everybody's hash mark, and I put 2 next to every roll that somebody had marked. So I doubled the order because it's all you can eat. So we're not paying anymore. We're paying the same. I'm like, it's all you can eat. So I doubled the order for everybody. And we were all pretty full as it was, but I just wanted to see what would happen. So a little social experiment / stir the pot type idea. And that plate came back, and just the overall groan at the table was just like, I said nothing. I just sat there like straight face, and everyone was like, oh my gosh. And like, you could just hear everybody groaning and moaning, like they felt like they needed to finish it. It's all you can eat. Like, you don't need to finish it, but like everybody felt like responsible, like they needed to finish that plate. I mean, I'm sure. And Josh and Ken got in an argument, like kind of an argument, like just Josh shot a one-liner at Ken. And it was just like, like they were just in this little crabby match. It was hilarious. I just sat there and just had to try and keep a straight face the whole time. It was so entertaining. It was so fun. Those guys are so great. Like, at the end of dinner, we all, hugged, shook hands, and it was an awesome experience to have. And that was my Thursday at ICAST. So Friday's kind of like the final day. It's the last day. Everybody's getting their last little bit of this, last little bit of that. All the deals are running. The music starts earlier. There's music there too. It's really cool. But the music starts earlier. Everybody's kind of on that wait to break down type thing because everybody's tired. I skipped over this whole thing. I apologize. Ken went to drop me back off at the hotel, but everybody that I was with was over at Howl at the Moon. So I needed to make sure that they could get home, all that kind of stuff. So Ken was gracious enough. He's like, hey, I was like, Ken, I'm really sorry. I don't want to walk into the bar with a backpack. Would you mind holding on to it for me? Because I didn't want him to drive all the way to the hotel and come all the way back. That's he's not my Uber, right? And he was so gracious. He's like, absolutely. And so Ken Duke took my backpack in his car for the night. And I mean, this has my pass, this has my microphones, this is everything that I need to do, everything that I need to have at ICAST. He has it all right there in his car. And he held on to it for me and brought it to me the very next morning. Like the very next morning. I was, thank you so much. I went into the Howl at the Moon, ran into everybody. We were all chatting it up. We were having a good time. Me and Wade did some singing with the band because it's a dueling piano bar. I've also never been to one of those, so that was really cool. But me and Wade got to singing and dancing a little bit. It was real fun. It was cool. I got to see Amanda Brannon and Kanani and everybody, Tanya, everybody was there. Like me and James and Jason just sat at a table and just talked and just broke down. Like it was so fun. It was so cool. I got to see Heidi from Naco over there. Like we all just had a good time. And so leaving there, the next morning, it's the wait to break down day, Friday. And you could tell like the vibe was different. Like everybody was waiting to break down. But at the same time, there was like a sense of not only hungover, but sorrow. Like this is the time where we all have to say goodbye because we're not going to see each other again until next year type thing. And, I just kind of walked through and talked to some people and caught up with some people and just kind of caught the vibe that everybody was just like, not only tired of the show, but like everybody, you could tell everybody was like, all right, now's the time where we, you remember the old Mickey Mouse show, like now it's time to say goodbye. That's how it was, dude. Like it was just like that sorrowful, like, dang, but this was great. We'll see you next year type vibe. And it was really cool. So yes, for Friday, we just kind of hung out, got everything broke down, did everything. And that was like my experience. Like it was overall like the most soul fulfilling thing that I've done with fishing, minus being out there fishing. It was absolutely an experience that I'll never forget. Thank you for everybody that was a part of that. Thank you for everybody that just shook my hand and I was honored to be there. And thank you to Jason over at FluxJet for taking me, dude. Like they didn't have to do that, but they did. And it was absolutely an experience that I'll hold to my heart to the day that I die. For all those people who have done 10, 15 years at ICAST and all that stuff, and it's not that cool anymore. It's all business. It's all this, that. It's all the other. I get it. I've been swinging a hammer for years, and I remember being the first guy on the job site, as a kid. I get it. It gets, old or it gets whatever it gets for you. But I implore you guys to stop the next ICAST, the people who are listening, who have been there for 10, 15, 20 years. I implore you to stop for a minute and just realize where you're at. Like realize the people you get access to and how human they really are. And I know that's a very naive perspective, if you will, because they know how human these people are more than I do, for sure. There's probably been some sort of ruffle or something riffle in the time or whatever, relationships, whatever. So be it. Stop and just take a minute and realize that you get to have this experience that most people don't. And on top of that, like you get to have personal relationships with these people that everyone else just gets to shake their hand and show them a picture of a big fish. You get to talk to them about life, kids, everything. The stuff that this show is, I basically built the show around, was the human aspect of each angler. Like y'all get that personal experience every freaking year. Take advantage of that. Because eventually either it's going to go away or you're going to move on in life or they're going to move on in life. And that's it. It's over. It's back to phone conversations or internet chats. So enjoy that in-person time that you get with these people. Like if you see someone that they've done something that's impacted your life, whether it be their fishing, whether it be a comment that they made, whether it's just them being who they are as a person, stop them. And I know this sounds lame. Give them their flowers. Dude, thank you for saying that. Thank you for doing that. I saw you at this tournament. That was incredible. Like tell people your honest truth. Tell people how they affected you, because sometimes that changes everything for them too. And if not, it might be your last chance to say something. That's why I'm not the Irish goodbye guy. I'm just not. I will say goodbye to everyone because I don't know if I'm going to go get in a car accident tonight. I don't know if they might decide that they don't want to be friends with anybody anymore and they just ghost everyone. Like that'll be the last time I got to see them. If I didn't tell them how I felt or tell them, like, give them the acknowledgement that I love them, like, how fucked is that? Like, how many times have we sat back and been like, man, I wish I said this. Man, I wish I did this. How many times? You guys in the industry get that. You get to do that every year with people that affect millions of other people. You guys get that opportunity every year. Make sure you take advantage of that. I'm not trying to tell people how to do stuff, but I'm telling you how I would do it, because man, like, that experience was life-changing for sure. Now, as for changes coming up on the show, those are my stories. That's ICAST. That's my ICAST. That's a first timer's ICAST. Like, I got to touch and feel a bunch of lures and stuff like that too, but I wasn't really there for that. So if you guys were interested in the gear talk, go over to Tackle Talk. If you guys are interested in the show recaps or the show experiences, go the fancy stuff. There's tons of other podcasts, Jigs and Bigs, Bass After Dark, tons. But if you wanted a personal experience, or what the eyes of a first timer, like walking through that door and walking on that floor, I don't care if it was the smallest one they've ever had. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. It was incredible. Changes for the show. There will, like I said, there will be more advertisements coming up. Please give me feedback on those little ads that I recorded the other day. If you don't like that, if you just want music and like the product, so be it. I'm really trying to encourage the show sponsors that, like, it's worth it. Not only that it's worth it for them, but like, I want to encourage you guys to check out these products, because this is stuff that I do all the time. This is not like a sales thing. Like, I don't do this for money. You know, if I was in podcasting for money, I wouldn't even own a microphone, because I'd be so broke. Point being is, I'm in it for you guys. I am your everyday guy. I am your average person. I am not above average in any way, shape, or form. I am just as normal as it comes. But I will tell you, there's going to be a little bit more on the whole angler Instagram. Maybe my personal Wolf of Walmart Instagram. Not quite sure yet how that's going to work out. But I'm doing some different stuff, because I've been encouraging people for a long time for mental health and spiritual health and physical health. And there's one thing that I lack that I've been putting in half-assed effort on trying, is physical health. So I will be moving forward with like a physical health journey. Like, I am normal. I am not some buff guy. I'm not a workout guy, but I will be working out. Like, I will be doing some stuff different. I want to live long enough to see my kids get married and meet my grandkids. I want to be able to get in a boat when I am 80 years old. I don't want to have to be helped into a boat at 80. So I'm going to be doing some things physically that's going to be changing for me to be able to strengthen the longevity of my life. When I was young, my plan wasn't to live past 19. I wasn't suicidal. I wanted to party, and I knew where that would lead, and I did not care. And my goal was to not make it to C20. Because I mean, if you're going to do it big, right? Well, I saw 20 and I didn't know what to do. I was like, now what? You know, like, and I just kind of lived ambiguously for a while, like, whatever, it is what it is, and we'll just see what happens. And it took me a few years to get a directive. In getting sober, that gave me a partial directive. And then it was like, let's see, you know, the fun that you can have living without partying. And then the fun didn't really get old, but it got to the point where it's like, all right, now what kind of life am I going to build for myself? And I've built a life for myself, and bumps, hiccups, everything. I'm talking the worst of the worst things. I'm no saint, you know. It took a rough road sober, took a rough road to get where I'm at now. But now I have a life that is like absolutely incredible. Why am I not taking full advantage of it? Why am I not keeping myself as healthy as I possibly could be to enjoy this life as long as I possibly can and be there for the people that I love? So that's what I'll be doing. There's going to be some different changes in me personally, physically moving forward. It's not like tomorrow I'm going to come out and I'm going to be ripped. I'm not even trying to get ripped. I just healthy, dude. I don't want to be round in the middle. Like, I want to be healthy. I want to be physically active, and I want to be able to stay physically active, because I am an active person, but I want to be able to stay physically active. I don't want to be that 75-year-old framer who can't pick up a board anymore. I don't. I mean, I also don't want to be framing at 75, but if I have to, I will. And I want to be able to be doing it. So that's going to be a change coming to the show. The guest list is coming. I have a different type of guest list than I've had for, you know, Still anglers, but it's there's some new stuff coming. It's going to be really cool. I'm really interested. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for letting me talk at you guys for like an hour. I didn't know how Hayes does this, but apparently I did it. And so without further ado, I give to you this positive moment.
I'm for place. And there's no one place. And there's never be for a few days. There's some banana trees. There's some trees. Come on, Dada.
Thanks everybody for listening.